How's it going, everyone? Laughing here, and today I of course have my wonderful and beautiful guest,
SunnBunn.
Indeed, and today we are going to discuss and review episode 7 of The Bad Batch. And what is that episode called?
Battle Scars.
Battle Scars. So yeah, really excited. Exciting episode, good episode at that. But before we get into the meat of it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way to helping the channel grow, and it would be much appreciated. Also, subscribe to SunnBunn's channel on YouTube. Follow her on Twitch. Follow myself on Twitch as well. Yeah, we both stream, which is kind of fun. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, we are on a, we start not on planet. They're getting pursued because they intercepted, stole, what have you, some lizard thing for a mission. So they get back to, oh my god, I'm blanking on the planet's name. Is it Ord? Man, no. Oh my god, dude, I'm just blanking on the name.
They get back to Sid's place.
Yeah, Sid's place. There we go. And she's like, all right, well, you know, here's like your 3 pennies. And they're like, what? And they're like, well, you owe me a lot of money for basically everything. And they're like, oh, okay. But there's a strange cloaked figure in the bar, which is kind of, it's interesting. We're like, oh, who is this? Very strange.
Yeah, you were guessing.
Yeah, I thought it was Saw at first.
I had a strong suspicion it was a clone, but I didn't know who.
Oh. Jeez, well, precog over here. So, and Wrecker and Omega kind of go off and do a post-mission ritual. They like, go get some food. So, it's very sweet. It's wholesome and cute.
Mm-hmm.
So, but while the rest of them are kind of talking to Sid in the back room, suddenly gunfire. And they're like, what is this? And they go out, and it is none other than Rex. That was sick. All right. Yeah, so Rex is back. I have a feeling probably just for this episode for now, but we'll kind of see. But yeah, Rex is back, and he's talking to them, and he's like, yeah, I've kind of kept a low profile, and Tech's like, yeah, well, it says that you're a KIA in the public database. So yeah, so it's pretty much as low of a profile as you can get.
Yeah.
And then they kind of talk about the chips, because Wrecker's head and migraines have gotten worse and worse and worse, and Rex actually doesn't draw on
Still
them.
have your chip?
Yeah, he doesn't draw.
He doesn't draw.
Yeah, but he makes it very obvious that he's ready and willing to if need be. But Omega and the rest of them kind of talk him down, and he's like, well, we got to get these chips out of you, because he's going to turn soon. Him being Wrecker, and the rest of you are literally taking time bombs.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know, meet me at this rendezvous place. We'll figure. I'll contact you and we'll meet up. So Bad Batch in the shuttle. Tech finds the way to find the chips because Rex doesn't have his chip anymore, and they do have theirs. So you know, with that info, they can kind of see like what they're missing as opposed to, or what they have, or what Rex is missing. Anyway, so they know how to find the chip, ultimately. Mm-hmm. And then they go to Baraka. And if you don't know the significance of Baraka, it's actually the starting world on Jedi Fallen Order. So Cal Kestis there. Calamari Cal Kestis, I think. I'm bombastic, so I've never really understood that. But anyway, he's a human. And yeah, so he is there. I'm pretty sure he's technically, canonically speaking, timeline-wise, still there during the episode, or there during the episode at the very least. So kind of interesting. But the reason why that it is a scrap planet owned by the Guild, Scrapping Guild, I want to say, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, the Guild.
They're Guild and they're scrappers.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So they are going on a Gen 1 Venator, which I guess there's significance with that. I really couldn't tell you. I know there is like 2 different versions of Venators, but I don't know. It's kind of weird that they dropped that in the story. Once again, little tidbits of lore here and there. That's Dave Filoni's way, I suppose, which no complaints. But anyway, they get out. They're getting on the ship. Wrecker almost dies to some weird, crazy tentacle monster, but he escapes. And they find the med bay, which is cool. And Wrecker turns, like literally right as they're about to toss him in the machine. No one dies, but it's very scary. He almost kills Omega. Would have killed Omega.
And Hunter.
And Hunter, but like he actually like had the gun on Omega.
Yeah.
Like basically pulling the trigger when Rex just kind of comes from behind and stuns him. Luckily. So kind of wild.
It was.
Very intense, and we'll go a little bit more in depth in a bit here. And then they pull out everyone's chips. You know, happy story, happy ending, and Rex goes off on his own into the mist. He returns from whence he came. And that is almost the end of the episode, and then we find out the guild notifies the Empire that the Bad Batch is on Braca.
Yes.
So, yep, that is the episode. So that's the very detailed synopsis.
Yeah, it was.
So usually it's not that detailed. But anyway, let's talk about Rex showing up. Well, thoughts, feelings, comments.
It's cool. I thought they did that very well. I knew it was a clone based on the eye color. They did like a very shadowed, very dark filtered close-up of the shadowy figure, the hooded figure in the corner at Sid's. And the face structure right here by the nose and the eye color, I was like, that's a clone. I don't know which clone though.
Yeah.
So, I liked that whole introduction for him. Thought it was very clever and well done, because he was just waiting and waiting for the right moment. But then the regulars, the patrons, the regular customers of Sid's, I don't know what to call them, the gaming duo, are like, you're my spot, even though there's nobody else here, you're my spot. And yeah, that was entertaining.
Indeed.
What'd you think?
I got up and cheered when I saw Rex. Big fan of Rex.
He did.
Lego, if you're listening, you need to re-release Phase 2 Captain Rex, please. It's like $100 on Bricklink. All right. Anyway, also release Phase 2 Cody. We know you have them. All right. Moving on. Very different from what we're talking about. It was really great seeing the fact that I'm happy that we kind of found out that, like, in terms of Imperial records, Rex is dead. Found that kind of interesting. I'm really curious as to what he's been up to. Obviously talking to the sisters. That's obviously a point of contact he has. Ahsoka probably got them connected. So.
Wait, do we know for sure that the sisters are connected to Rex?
Yeah, he said it. Yep.
Oh,
he's like, because he is actually the one that they were talking to. And he was also the one that did the job, interestingly enough, for the tactical droid head.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
When did he mention the sisters?
Either at the bar or while they're going to the med area.
Well,
I think it was at the bar.
I can't stand them so much that I just blocked that out.
Oh my god. Anyway, it makes sense. It makes sense that that's the connection. But yeah. So that was cool. Rex is turned into, for the most part, straight-laced clone, for the most part, bar like Umbara, kind of. Anyway, to like an enigma, like what is he doing? Where is he going? What have you? So, I don't know. I'm really kind of curious.
I think we'll find out.
I hope we do, because like Gregor and Wolf at some point also get their chips out. I want to see and hear how that goes. How he especially Wolf. I don't know how he like contacts Wolf. And like Wolf especially out of like in Rebels has a lot of guilt too.
Yes.
And I'm kind of curious was more than...
If it was chip related?
Yeah, well, yeah, if it was chip related, like, I don't know, it'd be kind of interesting to see, like, maybe the Bad Batch helps Rex, like, kidnap Wolf or something. So, and that's also Dave Filoni's, like, favorite clone.
Wolf is?
Either favorite clone or, at the very least, favorite Legion. Because, like, Dave Filoni's, like, he goes gaga for wolves.
Huh.
So, yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if we see Wolf.
That's a pretty safe bet that we'll see them then.
I would hope so. So, it makes sense that... Yeah, we know he has a chip out. So, I don't know. We'll kind of see with that. Yeah, I was very excited that Rex was there. He also knows something else up with Omega, too. Did you kind of catch that?
Yeah, he definitely found her odd.
Yeah. He's like, never seen you. How do you know about the chips? What? Who are you, little girl?
Yeah.
Tell me your secrets. Yeah. So, I wonder if he has an inkling at all or what have you. I don't know. It'll be interesting. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say about Rex with that. The other point, just talking about Braca, it's kind of cool. I do like it.
I didn't play that game, so
it's all good. I do like the fact that they, kind of not falling back, but like using pre-existing lore, like other kind of tie-ins of stuff. I think that's cool, especially when it's canonical, whatever, video game. I dig that. I kind of wish potentially more of the comic stuff got a little bit more stuff in the series at some point. I don't know, because the comics have gotten no love from what I can tell, which in some aspects might be a good thing. The newer comics. Anyway, but yeah. So I don't know, kind of cool we were on that planet. All right, so record turning. Let's get to the meat of it. I'm gonna let you talk because you had quite the reaction to this scene. So I'm gonna just give you the mic here.
Well, before there was a moment before Wrecker turns, when they were walking through Braca, and Hunter like stops and looks at the water, and then he's like, "No one going like past the water line." And then I said out loud, I was like, "Someone's gonna fall in the water."
Yeah. Called it.
Yep. I want to talk about that part first.
Go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yeah, nah, it's all good.
Alright, well, Wrecker's the one that falls in the water because he's afraid of heights, so he was the last one to go across this big gap. And he's also a really big dude, so the cord didn't hold up.
Yeah.
He goes dangling down, and he's just hanging by his foot. He's like, "Alright, I'm hanging here. Like, anyone want to pull me up?" And they're like, "Wrecker, climb!" And he's like, "What?" And it was so intense.
Yeah.
And they did such a good job with that. And like this tentacle, I forget the monster.
Call it a tentacle monster. It's okay. I don't remember what it's called either, to be honest with you. I forget the
name. But he gets pulled in several times. And each time it's like more and more tentacles are like, "No, I need to eat this thing." And then it gets to the point where this monster puts mouth first and then tentacles, like, clearly I have to be quicker about this. And it was very close and very intense, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" They gotta kill Wrecker. Oh, it was crazy. But I really enjoyed that part. I thought it was done super well. Anyway, okay, so they find the old med bay, and Tech gets it working and stuff and powers things up. And it's time for Wrecker to go first because he's like, "Oh god, my head." And was it Rex tried to sedate him first?
No, it was Tech. He had Tech goes in, give him the shot.
I thought that, but earlier you said no, Rex was just trying to do that, and then Tech went in.
Oh.
You corrected me earlier.
I think
maybe edit this out.
No, I think I was confused with what you're asking.
Okay.
Then yes, you were correct. My bad.
Hmm.
Jeez, all right.
All right.
You're funny.
So it's time to sedate Wrecker because they're
Yes.
gonna do head surgery, and Wrecker just changes and like the pupils constrict, and he, without making eye contact, just lunges for Tech's throat. That whole segment was so intense, so filled with suspense,
It was.
and the animation was superb. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but when Wrecker was in this Order 66 Good Soldier mode, he actually looked more like a reg.
You said that, and then I was like, oh my god, you're right.
Like, the facial
It was real weird.
expressions and everything, like, they became more stern. His face, like, became more serious and even looked longer. So, I don't know if there's, like, a type thing, like, clenching in a way. But the way he looked more like just a big, beefy reg with scars. So, I don't know. That was a nice touch, animators. Good work.
Agreed.
When he... Was it Echo that he grabbed? He grabbed one of the other Bad Batch members, like, by the face and threw him across the hall. And I was like, oh my gosh. That's
It might
so
have been.
hard.
Yeah, I think it was Echo. Because he like had
He
him like
threw him into
plow
Rex,
into Rex,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
That whole scene, it was just so intense. And then Omega tries to save Hunter because Wrecker's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Has his throat in his hands. And Omega lifts up like this big rifle and shoots, not to hit. I don't think she was trying to hit Wrecker.
To distract.
But right next to them, she's terrified, and he turns around and he like starts running, and it's so scary. It was so frightening. And our daughter was watching this, and I don't know if she's like around the same age as Omega or not, maybe a little younger, but our daughter was very much immersed into this and was like, ah! So they did a good job.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I'm gonna let you talk now. I just talked for a long time.
Yeah, it was actually really enjoyable. Thank you. Trying to get you to talk more.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like you said most of it. You know, like, it was a really good scene, really, really well animated, very, very intense as well. I gotta say, Bad Batch got lucky. Like, oh, we're on our way to the medical to get the chips removed, and then Wrecker turns like right there.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's unlucky. I don't know. But yeah, really, really good scene. I enjoyed it. And honestly, like afterwards too, because you know, as you mentioned, like Wrecker's very, very scary to Omega, even though Omega, you know, Omega and Wrecker have a tight relationship. Obviously, her relationship with Hunter's different than, you know,
Wrecker's like an uncle.
Yeah, like an uncle. Yeah, I'd go. Yeah, exactly. Where Hunter's more like dad, dad Hunter, daddy clone. But yeah, so I really actually liked after that though, where it showed that she forgave him for that, even though he was literally trying to kill her, and didn't really want to leave his side, and like once everything was said and done, and forgave him immediately too once he kind of came to. I thought that was important.
Thinking about this, it's not an uncle or uncle relationship. Oh my gosh, my words.
Like an older brother, or...
Yes.
Yeah.
It is much more like a brother-sister relationship. Because now I'm thinking about it, it's like, no, she's treating him like I would treat my older brothers. Mm-hmm. That's brother-sister relationship. That's not uncle-niece. Oh, it hits different.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a moment where after the chips are all removed and Wrecker comes over to her and gets on her level, and you can see the pain in his eyes and remorse in his eyes, and I forget if he starts to speak or if he didn't speak yet, and Omega just like sets her little hand on his face.
Tearing up.
It was very good. That was very sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good, yeah, it was a good, very, really good scene. So, yeah, overall, really, really good episode. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
I cried while watching it
or
too.
do we need to move? Do we need to move on to avoid additional tears?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay. Last thing I have is, who is Rex talking to?
Yeah.
At the end. So at the end, like, yeah, literally, like, Rex just, like, pops off in the mist. Like.
Yeah, he mentions a rendezvous point, and.
Yeah. We don't know who he's talking to.
Yes. What is this rendezvous?
So, I don't think it's Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka's just off doing her own thing. I think this whole Order 66 thing and everything affected her a lot. And I think she's going to be out of the fight for a bit.
Do you think we'll even see her at all this season?
No.
Cause I was kind of thinking, I don't think we're gonna see her.
And I think it's like, I'm gonna
maybe next season.
I'm gonna take a
right
stand and say, if we don't see Ahsoka in all the Bad Batch, that's not a bad thing. Finally, we have a show that's actually about the soldiers, and for me, that has always been one of the more interesting things of Star Wars. We have 9 whole episodes about Jedi and Sith and all that fun stuff. They've had their time to shine. The Clone Wars, they have their own million arcs. The best arcs for me in the Clone Wars were about the clones. Hands down, no contest. Those are always the best. And now we have an entire series that's just focusing on clones.
Since I first met you,
yeah,
this is the consistent thing it's been on his wish list.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're just like, I need a story about soldiers.
Yeah.
You need to see more troopers.
Like,
it's like, okay.
In even like in original like Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2, like by Pandemic, I would turn the heroes off because I wouldn't want to play them. They were distracting, and once again, like that game was not about the heroes; it was about the soldiers. And same thing with original with EA Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. I always found the heroes to be distracting. Like, it's cool, you can play as Darth Vader and everything, but I found it distracting. So, I'm very happy. I love Ahsoka. She's honestly one of my favorite characters that has come from any sort of animated show. But if we don't see her in Bad Batch at all, I'm completely content with that. And yeah, I just really want to focus on the troopers, ultimately. So, but I'm hoping it's going to be, like, Gregor, maybe. I don't think it'd be Wolf, because Wolf is, I think, really embedded into the Imperial Army currently. Still, I think Gregor, since he himself is an MIA/KIA, whatever. We don't really know what happens to him necessarily after season 6 of the Clone Wars. I think there's a good shot that maybe, he is the one that Rex contacts, potentially. How that is the case, I don't know, but that's my hope, anyway. So, I could totally be wrong. It's Ahsoka, and the next 3 episodes are going to be all about Ahsoka or something.
I was about to say something really dumb as a joke.
What?
It's Jar Jar.
Oh, yes. Finally, we have our Darth Jar Jar arc. Oh, asked us for a while.
So glad I didn't say that.
It's Jar Jar Binks. Well, to be fair, that is a contact that Rex has, so that's honestly, there's a non-zero chance that that's actually the case. Oh, Rex, Misa's so happy to see you.
No! I regret. Put it back.
I don't hate Jar Jar as much as I used to, but anyway.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sidetrack.
It's a good sidetrack. So, yeah, I think that's kind of it for me in terms of what I want to talk about.
How do you rate this episode?
All right. It was missing one thing to be a 10. One single thing, and it had to do with characterization. And I wanted Echo and Rex to have just a little bit of just them dialogue. Of like, hey Echo, I know you and trust you the most out of the Bad Batch. You've been embedded with their team and are part of their team for a while now. How's it been? How are things going? You guys good? You know, or something along those lines. And it could have been like a quick, like, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And I was missing that. And I'm a big fan of the Rex Echo relationship. They're really like longtime buddies. They've known each other for a long time. In fact, in terms of people who are in their own lives, they've known each other the longest. So I don't know. Want a little bit more with that. That was pretty much it. Otherwise, the rest of the episode is really, really good. Yeah, great lore, great background lore, great action, great story, great characterization, fantastic animation. You can go on and on and on. So I was very, very impressed with the episode. So are you looking for an actual score?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give this a certified 9.5 out of 10. So very, very good episode. One of my favorites so far. And having Rex back is fantastic. So what about you? I know we talked a little bit earlier and you mentioned that you really liked this episode. So
yes. I am going to give it a 10.
Whew!
Out of 10. I take a big factor into how I rate things is would I sit and rewatch this again?
Mm-hmm.
And oh yes, I would. I would watch it over and over and over, to be honest. This one, it was so good. It was suspenseful. It had sweet, heartfelt moments. The dialogue made sense. The body language made sense. Everything made sense. It was great. And yeah, let's go watch it again.
All right. Well, sure. Sounds good to me. Cool. Well,
that's like a 9.75 combined.
Yeah, combined 9.75. The highest rated episode that we have done so far. So yeah, check it out. Check it out.
Battle Scars.
You've been spoiled, but whatever. But yeah, really, really good. Very, very impressed. We're being called. We're being paged. So, all right. Well, on that note, thank you so much for watching the episode. We seriously appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Do something good for yourself. And as always, take care.